Hello everyone, happy Sunday. Gnarly, thank you so much for 19 months. 19 months, that's insane. That's insane. How are you doing? Good to see you. Hello everyone, here I am. Hi Wisdom, good afternoon. Hi Ansartrai, happy Sunday. Lovely space monkeys. Happy Sunday. How are we doing? How are we feeling? How have we been doing? It's been a week. Are we ready for this one? I'm not sure. Look what arrived. Possibly my new nightmare. Oh, hold on. I have not put on my stuff. Today is cold jello. Sweater weather. Yes, it's been lovely. I'm very grateful. Or at least most days have been lovely. Not all of them. Just now the sun threatened me. right after I start stream last week as well, it just threatens me, and I want to cry. Because truth be told, my body has been in agony for the last almost 3 weeks now. I'm really fed up with it. It's really exhausting. So I'm so happy that it's finally here. I'm happy that I decided to just pick a date that suited me, maybe not my uterus, but me. And tomorrow we're gonna experience this. Yay! We're gonna have to make before and after footage of me before reading Icebreaker and after Icebreaker. I do think it's a good. Why did they have to choose that freaking word? Because it's bothering me already. I have the plan to somewhere this year vlog me reading Haunting Adeline, which is supposedly quite intense. I have no clue. I have not read it. I have not listened to anyone do a recap or a vlog. I just have heard the responses and know that it was quite controversial. So I wanted to vlog myself doing that, and I guess this is going to be a good practice. I was thinking about that a few days ago. New nightmare, yes, Wisdom, new nightmare, new nightmare. We already have one, or I do. After the hot weather, I slept with my window open, made myself sick. No, Gnarly. Wait, it doesn't work like that? Does it work like that? Oh no, I just put stuff on my hands and now, of course, my nose starts. Why? Why does your nose itch? Right after you put stuff on your hands, always. Hi, Danny. Oh, Skulja. Hi, Skulja. Icebreaker is definitely a different book to me. I thought you were reading the post-apocalyptic book about trains. About trains? Which book? It's just it must be a hair because I've been fighting hair demons all day. I wish I could blame the hair for the crying, but I fear the crying caused the hair to be in my eye in the first place. So you froze in the night, Gnarly. Snowpiercer? Wait, hold on. What do you mean, Skulja? I'm a bit sticky, but. So, page 1 of about 31 results on Goodreads shows Snowpiercer, the prequel part 2, Apocalypse by Mads. Don't know, has no cover. A cover. The second book is The Snowpiercer Story, best, between brackets, best action and adventure book by Mrs. Claudia. Third option, giving it to the bad boy, tattooed and pierced, number 1. Is that, which one do you mean, Skulja? Oh no! See, okay, so we do have some. This is going to be a serious meeting. Oh gosh, it ended up. Grasshopper. Grasshopper is somewhere he is not supposed to be. He's going to die there, and I would rather not look at a corpse all day. When I sit here, we have some serious things to talk about today as well. or at least I don't know. I don't know. And I think I could use some advice. Maybe you can give me more of a guideline for some of the things that I had in mind to keep the community safe and keep myself safe from people who are just coming in and for one don't understand that I'm not necessarily enjoying the book for the reasons that they might assume. Oh, you can come say hi. Hey, yeah, you can come say hi. See, this is the thing. I'm just constantly out of breath because my entire body is inflamed, has been inflamed for over 2 weeks now, and it's not gonna end until this month is over, probably, possibly. I have little hope for this coming episode to bring relief after, but I don't think so. I think this is just gonna be, oh my gosh, is she drinking herself or is she making me understand that she needs me? She's drinking herself. It's a miracle. She doesn't do this. Did it say hi, Danny? Oh my gosh, hi, Danny. I am not sure at all. Hair Demons, a great name for a rock band. If every member has an 80s perm, I think it's coming back. Aren't there certain haircuts coming back? So maybe call Dips Wisdom. Oh, thank you for the 20 straight streak. That's why I wanted to say your name again. Danny, has it been 20 days since we met? No, it's been longer. Krish, how are you doing? Hello. Hello. I can't believe you're here. Oh God, I shouldn't have turned that one on yet. Okay, well, it's there. This is what I had in mind. Maybe it's a good thing that it showed up. Okay, I wanted to have some timed messages running for the readathon. And I think maybe another one that isn't even completely serious, completely done. I think that might come by as well because yeah. That one is funny. I'm just gonna leave it because it's kind of funny. I thought that this was a good base. I think Danny came up with it. Yeah, serious things. Well, you gave me the idea, right? To open up the chat after the reading part is done for the day, which is amazing. It's a good idea. I think that's wonderful. But so I have to make sure that is going to come into the timed message, which I already did. But also, how do we feel about keeping new people out for the entirety of the reading part? And I just don't set a limit to how long someone has had to have followed me. I just allow people to join chat immediately after. Or do we want to make sure that they stay a viewer kind of locked out of chat though for at least a day? Or do we think, what do we think? What do we think? I think that Menley? Oh gosh, all the capital letters, I don't know what to do. Welcome in though, and thank you so much for the follows. Kitty always needs everything plus the hair demons. Juicy. She actually had bonus couch time this morning because I didn't finish Hazelthorn yesterday. I was tired. So I couldn't finish it, and also I thought maybe not before sleep, and I was right. I stopped reading right before it got actually really nasty. Don't eat while reading this, but also if you love horror and body horror and just creepy mystery, this is your book. It was amazing, and it's queer, so unintentionally a good book for Pride Month. I did, yeah. I'm not okay. I have to play open card. I am actually really not okay. My body is upset. And mentally is I just it isn't until proven guilty. This is true, Danny. This is true. Right, Kevlar? Thank you. Are you wearing a flower crown? Who is wearing a flower crown? I swear, one day I will get someone to get themselves a flower crown, and they will start using it on their own as well, and they will be able to tell that I was right all along, and then you will all follow. One day, I will not give up. In case you don't know, you recently came into chat and have joined our little community, or you just missed it because I don't necessarily enjoy bringing it up. It's not nice. I'm not going to go into detail, but I was assaulted a few months ago, and this month the case is going to court. So it's a bit of the struggle mentally. I'm not happy. I'm having a lot of flashbacks. I'm dissociating a lot. And having endometriosis, a broken uterus, and inflamed and just broken overall uterus, being stressed makes the symptoms look worse. And I'm actually out of breath already. Oh, it's maybe a little much, or not, because it's for non-followers, that message, isn't it? Which is why I think it was kind of perfect that haircut. Danny, do you have the monk thingy, the monk hairline? I love that. I don't know why, but it tickles me, and I think that it's not even that bad looking if you actually own it, if you know what I mean. Anyway, in May, June, last month, I had my streamer anniversary, affiliate anniversary, and tomorrow is Winston's, my orange cat. It's his birthday, and it's also Toulouse her birthday month. So this month is just whiplash, emotional whiplash constantly. And I thought that the readathon, even though I wanted to push it at first, I thought that maybe actually it's perfect. It's perfect timing to keep me busy, to keep me grounded and out of my head, and to have some fun anyway, despite all the tears and all the sadness. I thought the readathon would be splendid for the coming week, and I would like to make it a yearly affair if it is something that we enjoy. Not just me, but you as well. If you don't like it, if you would rather we don't take a vacation from our regular muted state, then please let me know, and we will take it into consideration. I think Toulouse is getting the post poop zoomies. Yep, there she goes. What about leaving it open and testing the water? People will do come in and post unreasonable amount of unwanted messages. You can increase it. Just have it a 10-minute follower only to discourage the most impatient ones, because it is my experience. If someone is being an ass and you time them out for 10 minutes, they already leave. Now I do know that there's people who consider a timeout as a ban, and that's really not my problem. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for you, because in all this time I haven't celebrated the community, not really. In a way that felt satisfactory. And I remember, especially in the first year, people would talk about having a streamathon, just a 12-hour stream or something. And I physically can't do that. I couldn't do that 6 years ago. I can't do it. Sure as hell can't do it now. But I can stream within the confines of the rules that I have set for myself, because I do know that I can make it through our regular stream, even if I'm completely out of breath. I'm a bit surprised at how much it's taking to just sit, but it's okay. It's also because I've been locked up in my own brain for the last few days. It's really not a good idea. This is really the best idea for me. Even like some people when they're going through a tough time, they need to lock away. But you have to understand that is my default. And if I am too stressed out, I actually need something to do. So I think maybe everything, the timing was divine. It's gonna be great. My bangs start at the back of my head. I'm not. I'm not going to court, Kevlar. Actually, I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed, but I can follow it online, and it's still going on, you know. And there's still going to be a verdict of whether there's going to be punishment at all. And I have emotionally prepared to be severely disappointed. I have emotionally prepared that he might even get away with just a money a fine, right? That is completely possible, and honestly, that is what I think is going to happen. I think he's not going to get any jail time at all, for just because I know now how things work in this area, and it's better not to get my hopes up. But hi, Bloka. What is that? Is that an emote or is that an actual badge? Because that's a great. Oh Jesus! I'm so sorry. I need to check the badge whether that was all good because I think I stopped midway. That is coming by quite a lot, isn't it? I'll adjust that. I can do that right now actually because I do have that open. I think that is maybe. Oh. I get it now. I am so stupid sometimes. Yeah, no, that's that's not enough. Hold on, I'm fixing it. It's gonna be okay. Oh my god. There, done. Should be okay now. I don't want to spam my own chat. That's a bit ridiculous. It will make a bit. Yes, I'm not going to be in just chatting. That's a good point, Gnarly. I will not be staying in just chatting because as much as I love it here, this is where the most harassment comes from. Emotionally prepared is a myth. Emotions cannot be prepared. They can only manifest and then be smashed by garlic hammers. Oh, good thing I just stocked up on garlic. In this country, I find for driving too fast is more expensive than inflicting violence. Yeah, I know. Does anyone know where to buy pitchforks? You know what? That's a cute dog. There's a lot of puppies lately, and it's really unfair. At some point, it's going to even out. At some point, probably when I moved away from here, it's going to even out. I'm going to see that all the good things I was able to harvest from the experience it gave me the seeds to build something that is something that I might not have been able to build without this experience. Now, I don't recommend it. But okay, I'll give you this. I'll give you this. Hi, Millie. I'll give you this. This is going to sound so morbid, but one thing that has been going through my mind constantly, like literally from the moment that I made it home after being beat up. Mind, I didn't get an escort. There was no ambulance called or anything. The only things that I realized later that the way the police handled me was also just already a sign that it was not going to end in my favor. But what I realized is that yes, I was stiff. My body was stiff because I was beaten on the head like a dozen times. But because I suffer daily, like actually suffer daily to the degree that it makes me want to, if not actually makes me cry every day because my body hurts so much, that I am not really impressed at being beaten up. It really didn't hurt. It was terrifying, and but like the physical pain was nothing compared to what my own body does to me on a daily fucking basis. So exactly, Danny. It's just I got up immediately after to get the evidence because he stole my phone. It's another when it's settled, like when the case is done. I'm gonna give you more details, but like I got up immediately and and even in the days after, yes, it hurt, but so there's that. That's a good thing, right? An immediate good thing that I that got out of it. Like, well, at least I know now that if I ever get beat up again, it won't hurt as bad as your average person. Hi, Umskad. I do. That was the joke. That was the joke. My body hurts me so much that being beaten, well, violently assaulted, my body is not impressed. Psychological damage, irrevocable. But, you know, at least my body can endure. I know, Umskad, it's not funny at all, but that's the joke. I am the joke. Well, the joke is a little bit more complicated, but you know, I'll leave it at that. I'm not sure if I can laugh at that, but I kind of want to. You're very much allowed. Edward, Edward, Edward Collins, Volvo. What? What do you mean? Hello, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. And it has made me wonder in more optimistic moments, like maybe I should really go into a fight sport, not because I would necessarily be good at it, but because I would be good at taking the hits, and that would be my power. Like I would just tire them out. And then give them one calculated left, just to make it unexpected and a little bit more flourish, and then be done with it, right? Oh God, gnarly. That was probably shock. That's probably shock. Like Homer Simpson. I don't know. I didn't watch that. Hi, Edward. I love your name. Amazing. Surrender, I'll bite your toes. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I quite like my toes. Do you know how important your toes are for your balance? Somehow that name makes sense, right? Hi Adam, how are you doing? Librarian joke. A woman asked the nicest librarian if they had any books on paranoia. Librarian looked her dead in the eyes and with the biggest smile whispered to her, "They're right behind me." What if I told you that this happened in real time with me? Nothing would amuse me more than to see a fighter enter the MMA octagon wearing flower crown and sporting the fear, including. I'm not kidding. I'm actually considered it like, okay, well, apparently I can take a hit or 12. Maybe I should do it after all. Not to protect myself necessarily, because that's done over and done with. I'm not leaving my house anymore. But yeah, that's. I don't think I mentioned that before. I don't think I mentioned that before. But yeah, that has. And I think it's only funny for me because I've sat with this for a few months now. Like I. Every time my uterus acts up, I'm like, well, thank you for making sure that I got up and got the evidence that I needed. So because otherwise it would have been my word against his. If he had gotten away with the phone that had the footage of that morning, because I wore a body cam and everything, and it had my entire walk, not just what happened. It had my entire walk, the hour that I was out there in the forest. So if it wasn't for my uterus and the incurable endometriosis, I wouldn't have gotten up. I would have just laid there and not gotten the evidence. So everything happens for a reason, right? Hi Billy, how are you doing? Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Yes, you sure did. More jokes. Uh, okay. Hi Blue, how are you doing? I am nervous. I have to say, I've been practicing. I read this in the bus yesterday because I've been going out and preparing for the coming week to be sure that I don't have to go out as much. I will have to go out for mm, Oh, I believe that really because they did that everywhere. It's time to kick them out. I read this in the bus. I've been going outside, which was not fun in the last 2 days, to make sure I had food, and my meds and stuff. So I do only if forced, Danny, only if forced, and I was forced. I ran out of my painkillers. I needed some lettuce. Truly, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here because I cried pretty badly this morning, and if it wasn't for the devil, man, I wouldn't be sitting here. I promise. But anyway, I had to go to a city to get lettuce because I live in a small town. We don't sell lettuce in this town. So I thought I'll read this in public to see how it feels to be expressive and read something that probably shouldn't be reading in public, and it felt wrong. It felt so wrong. So this, oh my god, I haven't prepped it yet. We'll do it tomorrow. I'll prep this tomorrow. The goal is 50 pages a day. That would bring us to 9 days of readathon. Unmuted, unabridged. I considered looking up where the spicy scenes were so I can mark them, but I won't do that. I'll just go in here blind, no clue what's gonna happen aside from people got upset. So just in case you don't know about this book, look at it. Doesn't it look like something you would buy for your preteen daughter? It looks cute, doesn't it? They don't sell lettuce there. Are you not allowed to? Well, I just live in a small town. They don't have that. Tell me you do not warm up your lettuce. Well, Wisdom is the one who likes to eat edibles. My pal started reading the Quran for his own understanding. He took his copy to work. He worked in the police station. His colleagues' reaction were not ideal. So you're saying worked? Oh gosh, does he still have a job? Why are you bookmarking the spice stuff? Because I don't want to. Okay, look. I don't like smut. This is fan service, all right? I don't like smut. I get highly uncomfortable. In fact, after a particularly unwelcome experience of smut, I decided after over 30 years of reading every single letter. I mean, think Red Wedding. The Red Wedding from Game of Thrones, I had to read that. If you've seen the scene, you'll understand that not being able to look away and having to read it consciously, extremely traumatic. So not being a fan of smut is an experience to do it anyway, because lately in contemporary fiction there's always some kind of smut. Now there are people who can do it very tastefully. There are scenes that aren't too bad, but once it gets too explicit, I'm like, why am I here? I don't need to be in this scene. Why? Please stop it. Why am I looking? I don't want to. I wouldn't. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing it, to please the fans, because I'm going to be uncomfortable, I'm going to be upset. But also, a lot of people bought this for their preteen daughters because it looks poppy and cute and sweet. Not knowing that this is actually quite, as far as I've heard, I don't know yet, quite violent smut. There's a few scenes in there that I'm going to get upset over. So this is also why I want to read it, especially when a book is controversial. I come from a librarian background, which is also a good reason for me to just read anything, because otherwise how am I going to tell people about it? How am I going to tell you whether you should read it? And when it comes to books like this, where there's a lot of talk about things like covers, or whether there should be warnings about spice, it's important for me to have an informed opinion, and I can't have an informed opinion about something like a book unless I read it myself. If I don't read it myself, I'm just regurgitating. I'm just parroting the opinion of others. That's not an opinion. In case you don't know, that's not an opinion. Unless you have done your own research. You don't have an opinion. You're just repeating what other people have told you to believe or say. So, Scooby-Doo cartoon. Exactly, it's too cute. But we'll see. We'll see. Because I was extremely underwhelmed with the experience of 50 Shades, with how people were talking about it. I thought this is gonna be upsetting. But especially with the 50 Shades books, I was actually working at the library, and it was so popular. I had to read them. Otherwise, I can't do my job. And it really wasn't as bad. But I do feel like this is going to be, given the fact that time has passed, and it's really in every book now. Pretty much every contemporary book, Western book, I have to say, because in Asian literature, it's not as explicit. It's just not as explicit. And then I do like it. I like yearning. I like romance. Oh no, Daddy! Don't you? I'm gonna gag. Don't do that. That's gross. No, I just burned my lettuce. Cherry Sweet reads the whole book before she reads because she likes to look for. Yeah. No, I just want to be prepared. Yeah, I know, Adam. I talked about it like 2 weeks after it happened. So there's a VOD. I don't know what day it is, and I would like to explain more in future. So you just kind of understand a little bit better. But no matter how you turn it, being assaulted in the forest by a stranger is no fun and traumatic, no matter how you look at it. So that's why we're here, to distract me. And I guess I'm so lucky. I'm always so lucky that it kind of happened. The court case happens to be this month, which is both a very fun month because the kitties have birthdays, but also it's the month that I lost my first cat. So it's just a wild month, and I think having an annual readathon to keep me busy in case my mind tries to throttle me, which it does on your average day anyway, I think it's going to be fun. I'm not saying it will be smut every year, but for this year, I don't know. I think it's a good one, and then I will finally be able to enter conversations about this topic, about covers and stuff as well. Hi, Alex and George's Life. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the follows. Welcome. Hello, Pete. Yes. Young, and now Pete. And it makes my brain glitch. It makes me want to talk in Dutch, and then my brain goes 404, just like Alex. Certain things when buying a book for someone preteen who doesn't do their research about that book and buy probably from the young adult section will get that what they asked for. A little bit, yeah, Skulja, I agree. Especially because it's really easy these days to just look up subjects. I know that Goodreads isn't as good about it, which is why I always try to include the story graph in when I talk about books, and with the book club, I included it in the page as well. That I took my trigger warnings from the story graph. The story graph is technically a lot better than Goodreads. It's just that Goodreads has the biggest chunk of the market still. But technically, there's really no excuse. They could have looked it up. Shall we just have a look? And I look. I also realized I did. Okay, hold on. First off, I didn't realize it was the same author. I'm talking about Sarah J. Maas. Maas, who wrote the Akatar books. Okay, so when I first lost my little bow, my first pet, I spiraled into controversial books and Akatar. Everyone was talking about Akatar, so that was pretty much the first thing I read after dragging myself out of the worst of being really depressed about life. Uh, I read the entire series in like a month. And what do you know? It's summer again. And I find myself reading the Throne of Glass series written by Sarah J. Maas. I don't know. I guess it's a accidental what is it called? A yearly thing, not annual. I'm not looking for annual. What? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. What? I left a what? A deep puncture. Oh my God, wisdom. I can't. I can't. You had to do it after a bet, didn't you? Do I remember correctly? Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I guess when it comes to the court case, I've already accepted that I'm not gonna be satisfied regardless because I will never get over this. I was already scared of life and have a panic disorder. I already had CPTSD. Now I have PTSD, which is amazing. I love the trauma. Um, and it's just that the court case has to pass. That date has to pass, and I think after that I can actually start finding closure. But until then, I have to make sure that I survive and don't go absolutely mad. Now, when I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about it again, but I'm gonna be too upset if I change my entire living room. And I can't stream from the couch. I did that once. It was highly stressful. Didn't like it at all. Not where the couch is now. I would have to put it somewhere else, but I'm not going to be able to deal with that. Just the idea of having the couch somewhere else for 9 days straight. No, no, I am a cat. I will not be able to deal. We'll be here to keep you sane or drive you mad, I guess. Either will do, Emily. Either will do. Because sanity is our forte. Well, the thing is, I'm just crying constantly. I'm just crying constantly, and that's exhausting. And that's not how I want to spend my days. That is not. See, I hope that this person learned from what happened. And there are certain details that make me guess otherwise, but I will always hope that this person. The sun is a tease and very cruel to date. I need beware. I'm pretty sure that my hopes are a good example of we see the world as we are, not as it necessarily is. Because there's just one detail in particular that I just will too that make me realize that this person is gonna get out of it with a fine probably, and they're gonna hate me for the rest of their lives. That's probably what's gonna happen. And for me, it's completely different. I hope that he learns. I hope that he will grow. I hope that even like separate from my emotional state, I hope that him not having to deal with Jill offers him the opportunity to turn his life around and to make something better of himself, and specifically treat women better than he has been doing previously, because it's not going to end well. It's really not going to end well. I know it's not going to be that, but despite that, I want to build the world that I want to live in. And if I allow what I know pretty sure to be the truth to encroach in my life, I'm going to crumble. And if there's one thing I don't want this person to do is have so much control over what happens to the rest of my life that I cannot even sit in my own living room and read a book. Right? That's what I said when I first opened up about this, even though I don't want to go into detail too much because the court case hasn't passed yet. The first week after, yeah, you can do that, Skolja. Sure, I can't promise an answer, but you can always ask. But I after it happened, I didn't stop streaming. I sat here. I explained that I was doing not okay, but I kept going with stream because I have let other people. I have allowed other people to influence my life in bad ways before. And I'm just done. I'm just done. I don't want that. And even if it hurts, even if it's a struggle, I'm going to find a way to keep going. Even if it's the bare minimum, because I haven't been able to do YouTube. I haven't really been able to do anything of the plans that I had made at the beginning of the year. So I hope the reason will make up for it a little bit. Yeah, with there's one thing that I just know for sure, and I will tell you when it's all said and done. It's brutal, but it fits the profile of this whole person, and it's sad, but it's it's stubborn, Daddy. I don't know if it's a good thing. Not always. I just refuse. I refuse. And I guess yeah, we shape our own reality, and I can again allow this to hurt my plans for the future and the things that I like doing, or I can be stubborn and just sit here and read a book that makes you uncomfortable. But do you see now how this is going to keep my mind busy? It's gonna be so grossly uncomfortable for me that I can't even be in my own brain. And hopefully this will also roll over into the rest of the day, and I won't have nightmares about my actual life, but I'll just have nightmares about this instead. Right? Well, that's what I said after as well. Like, it's probably a good thing that the guy met me in the forest that day, because I'm still convinced that he was going to hurt someone, if not that day, in the very near future, because of things he said. And I've been through a lifetime of having to deal with trauma, of having to learn how to navigate a panic disorder alone, having CPTSD, and not having the money to go into private therapy to actually deal with it. Not having blood family to fall back on, so actually having to do all of it on my own. It really made for the perfect victim for someone who has the opportunity to do better. We'll see, or at least I won't see. I don't know who it is. I can't go to the court even if I wanted to. I don't think I'm allowed in, because that's stressful for the perpetrator. Isn't that hilarious? I'm not allowed to go to the court, because it might upset the person who ruined my life. Yeah, I can't confirm that, but that's what I've heard. That is the reason that you are not allowed as victim to be there in the court case, unless it's a different kind of court and I have to testify. But because they have footage of the entire attack and I was on the phone with the police, it's really unnecessary. So I guess if he were to go into a higher court, I don't know how. I've never been in a situation like this, so I have no clue what would happen. But I guess if he disagrees, I don't think I would have to go in anyway, because it's right there. It's all there. Like, it was pretty insane that he decided to do that with all the. But yeah, I guess, like I said, I'm pretty sure that person was on his way to hurting someone regardless. And if it had been an actually frail old woman, or just a fragile person, like physically in general, he probably would have been in a lot more trouble. And you could argue that would have been better for him. He might have gotten worse sentence, but I am glad that he didn't get the opportunity, hopefully, because I was the one he met instead. And that means that there's at least a person out there who didn't get beat up by this man, hopefully, because I don't know. Yeah, no, that's how they make it look, but that's not really the case, Danny. It's complicated. It's complicated. But the only reason really is because that I didn't contest it, because I kind of would have loved to do uh, I'm not sure what it's called, but to explain in court what it has done to me. The problem is that I would not be able to get money, because emotional damage is pretty much impossible to get money for emotional damage. So even though I'm not kidding, I don't go outside anymore. I can't get anything. I can't get anything. I could have tried, but it was explained to me that the emotional damage, and that, what I know from this environment, and thus the system in this region, it's a good thing I didn't do that, because hold on, there's so much going on in my brain about this, because I'm curious, and I do think that I'm learning so much thanks to this horrible experience. For example, the difference between CPTSD and PTSD, fascinating that is how visceral PTSD is, and how completely different from CPTSD. I didn't know that before, I know now. But also that a huge component of trauma isn't the experience itself, but what happens after. You may have heard this before, but like, for example, if you're a kid and you experience something hugely traumatic, like say in an extreme, you get kidnapped. You get kidnapped, horrible things happen to you, and then you find your way back home. Miraculously, you're let back home. If that child comes from a loving family, you'll learn that they don't get as messed up as you might imagine they would, because they are safe, they're loved, and they're caught in their most fragile moments. They're being protected. Yes, something bad happened, but what the aftermath? If that is soft, if the landing is soft, the trauma won't be nearly as heavy as it would when there's nothing. If there's pushback, even worse. If you're not believed, if the justice system disappoints you. More than what happened, it's the aftermath that is stuck in my throat. It's fascinating. I think that's really fascinating, and. I'm probably going to learn from this for years to come. I don't think this is going to be over in June, or even in the first year, because I'm very sensitive to years passing. The first year after something bad happens is always a bit fishy for me. Therapy is not emotional damage. Trauma is physical. It's a shame that they're so uneducated. Yeah. Well, especially about CPTSD, Skolja, you would be really surprised how much damage my supposed mental health teams have caused in my 20s because of the things they told me about CPTSD that turned out to be absolutely not true. Worse, the information, the truth about CPTSD was out there already as I was actively being, hurt and damaged by so-called professionals. It was horrible. Destiny is a bad person. Hi, thanks so much for the follow. And hello, Zurav? I'm not sure what to do with your name, but hello. Thank you so much for the follows. Give me one moment. Oh, okay. I'll look at that after stream. Okay, Skullja? I see you though. Thank you so much for your message. I already see that you are being way too kind. 99% of the world's most dangerous sociopathic idiots come from well-to-do families, and that really isn't a surprise to me, because you don't get rich by being kind. Honestly, like I know there's good people out there, and I know there's good nepo babies out there, but also, if you're new money, now if you're old money, you come from a long line of people who were willing to stamp on other people. Probably. And that will mess with your head, man. But just sidebar, we do need sociopaths in society for jobs that people with a normal nervous system wouldn't be able to do. But that's a whole other topic. They're connected and supported. Like nutrients to the trauma, it could heal, but the nervous system would never forget it. Yeah, you're right, Saraf. Welcome in. Oh, that one I need to change as well. I cannot be here for this conversation as it directly relates to me, and I'm doing my best to deal with my burnout. Oh, please, Gulja, I love you all, but this is me looking after. Yeah, always step away when you need to. You have absolutely no obligation to stay here or to listen to me. Always put yourself first, please. Not to be rude, but what is smut? Hi, Strawberry. Well, it is something that I have been familiarized with in the last, 2 years, mostly. Coming from reading a lot of Russian and old literature, but only starting to read more contemporary because I wanted to start YouTube. I have found that what used to be, the sexy little booklets that they sold in, I don't know, for sure, actually. Those sexy little books with the pirates and stuff. Yeah, that subject has found itself into normal books, but also books that look like this. It's explicit stuff. It's explicit stuff. I don't enjoy it, but for my viewers and my followers, I'll do almost anything. There are unfortunately boundaries though, which is why this is also going to be interesting because we're going to talk about so many subjects, so many, from cover art to spicy meters to boundaries. Yes, basically. True fortunes tend to be made by sociopaths. Yeah, it's I mean. The grass is always greener on the other side, and for a lot of people, there's a lot of envy and jealousy wrapped up in the fascination of royalty and famous people. Not for everyone. Luckily, there's also people who are completely not sensitive to that stuff, but. I feel like if you're born into a lot of money and a lot of status, that is probably not as much fun as we imagine it to be for a lot of them. But again, we do need sociopaths for like surgeons make is a good job for sociopaths, for example. Ouija was used a long time ago as an excuse to touch a romantic interest's hand under illusion of occult magic. I believe that gnarly. The yearning! Oh, the yearning! See, I love that kind of details. That makes me go absolutely wild. Explicit scenes where there's like, I don't even want to... I don't need to be there. You know, just give me an Ouija board and the brushing of a few, and I will already be melting. But you know, so this is gonna be. See, it's gonna be. This is perfect. It's perfect. We're gonna make something good of the coming few weeks. I do want to try no smut for Winston. Wait. Winston knows, actually, about speaking of Winston. I'm sorry, I'm chaotic as ever. He has been. I'm not sure if I can actually say this because no, no crying. No. Bo, my first cat, used to come wake me up in the morning. When she heard my alarm, she would come and start yelling for one. And if that didn't work, which it didn't, because I knew if I didn't respond, she would come and cuddle with me. And Winston has been doing the same for the last few weeks. I don't know how, because the thing is, I lost Bo on the 7th, today. And what I didn't know was that the day after, almost to the hour, Winston was born. I didn't know that yet, because, no. And a few weeks later, I got a call. And I had already promised to lose my other cat that I would get her a friend. I would get her company for if I do have to go outside. Little did we know. But yeah, that's what I mean with this is such an emotionally difficult month for me already, without the stupid court case over my head. Winston was born the day after I lost Bo. He's such a silly boy. So yeah, Winston is turning 8 tomorrow. Tomorrow, so he's turning 2 on the 8th. If it wasn't for Winston, we wouldn't be laughing half as much as we do, even if Tusha is a bit upset at him sometimes. Luis Campos? Hello? Is it Luis or Louis? Please let me know. And also, hello, Matteo. Thank you so much for the follows. Welcome in. Tarot cards were also obscured and worked on in secret because there are naked ladies on some of the cards. This is true, Gnarly. I'm not sure about the channel name, but there's a channel on YouTube that got demonetized on several videos, and they didn't realize that it was the cards. And they were like, "Wait, what do you mean? There's nudity? I'm doing a reading, and there's no nudity." It was the cards. The cards were too explicit. Well, it's a great one, Zerev, because yeah. So now you know what to do on your next date. Have a seance. I might. The rich don't view money the same way as others. Most people think of riches and dream of all the things they could buy. They imagine will make them happy. For the rich, those things are given, and they have long since grown bored by them. The rich covet money for the power it gives them over others. Yeah, I agree, Bobby. Yeah. It's, money isn't real. Oh, I agree. There's no such thing as royalty. It's just an imaginary construct. You see, the thing is, this is probably out of context. It's not good. So hear me out. I think the idea of royalty isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think in the purest sense of the word royalty, as in kings and queens, in my mind, let's say I'm laying out the groundwork for a fantasy novel, right? In my mind, royalty is not what holds power, but what shows the rest of the world what your country stands for. It's supposed to be like kind of like a, what do they have at football games? Kippy, hi. What's the word? You know what I mean, right? What do you have? Not cheerleaders. That's funny as hell. No, close, giraffe. God dang it, brain. Mascot! Yes, Snarly, a mascot! Yes, Kippy! That's what I mean. Royalty, in my mind, isn't what holds power, but what is something for people to look to and say, this is what our country stands for, this is what I want to model myself after. Like, as in, how to treat other people, how to be a person. Does it make any sense? I don't see it as power. I just see it as a kind of a glorified mascot thingy. But that's what my brain says, so, which is why if I detach royalty from money and power, I have a very deep fascination with Romanovs, for example, morbidly curious about that family. I always have been, ever since I saw the movie Anastasia and realized that it was based on a true event to a degree. So, I'm actually really fascinated by royalty because just try to imagine being born a prince or a princess. Actually try. How freaking insane that is. Can you imagine? I can't even deal with the responsibility of my cat sometimes. Like, actually, I'm allowed to have living beings? That's just allowed? I mean, I'm a great furry baby mom. That's not the point. But also, sometimes I'm still, like, really? And when people trust me with their kids as well, like, are you sure? Are you sure? My God. And imagine that on a scale of millions. Now, yes, I am looking at that through my eyes, and I am seeing the world as I am. So maybe those people really don't see people as people, just like some people don't see money as money anymore. But at the same time, imagine being someone who does have the desire to be enlightened and takes it seriously, that responsibility to not just take care of people, but to be an example and be the rock of millions of people. That's insane! I read that in ancient Rome, royalty or the super rich were the only ones allowed to pay taxes, and it was seen as a very high honor. I mean, technically, wait, Elbat talked about this, right? About how I wasn't really doing great, but I was hanging out for dear life. Didn't Elbat talk about this last stream? That about how it works in the UK, and that after a certain amount of income, you pay X amount of taxes. And actually, how you could think about it is that now you have enough money to make sure that other people don't die unnecessarily, because you're able to help them with their chemo or just vaccinations, or I don't know, just you're able to now feed and house other people. How amazing is that? I'm saying it a lot less sophisticated than Elbet did, but that's a way to you could look at it, right? Isn't that amazing? But the thing is, the people who accumulate a lot of money don't have that mindset usually. Like, I don't think I will ever be able to be rich. Like, I don't think I would like that. Have a lot of money, because I would think of all the people who are going hungry or would like to have a roof over their head for once in their lives, or maybe again because other countries decided to do things. You could help. I mean, I think it's honorable. I think it's honorable. But then again, I don't believe in money. You don't have to pay me to do a good job. That always baffled me. That when people, oh no, I lost chat. Oh, there you are again. Wait, someone say something. Is it working? Oh my god, I think I'm back in. Um, like when people don't get paid to do something, or they feel like they don't get paid enough to do something, how they would gladly trade in their own integrity for money. I don't like that idea. Thank you, Gnarly. It works. um, I just lost my train of thought. The richest people in the world have hobbies like control, power, killing people. It is wisdom. Well, it's fascinating to me. It's not quite ironic. It's pretty much a blueprint, almost. Because I used to do door to door for another scam, really, but like for this nonprofit. I would go to people's doors and ask if they wanted to donate money. And the best places to go were the poorest neighborhoods, because those people know what it's like to do with less or with nothing. So they would gladly give whatever they can miss. And sometimes they can't even miss it at all, but you know, they want to help because they know what it feels like if no one helps. The worst places to go, not just because you had to walk more, were the rich neighborhoods. The rich neighborhoods. And we often got like goals is like if you get 10 sales, because we were sales people at the end of the day. We were that was the name in the contract of the job. You're a salesperson at the end of the day. If you get 10, you can go home early, but you still get paid the full day. The moment we realized we had villas or rich people, we were, okay, well, we're here the full shift because no way we're going to even, if you get one sale, that's amazing. That's amazing. In a rich neighborhood? How do you think those people got rich? Flats? Every floor, 2 to 3. Minimum. It's ridiculous. And it really makes you think about the world. And this is a lesson I learned at 16. Like, okay, so if I ever need help, I sure as hell shouldn't go to rich people because they're not going to help. Go to the people who have the least. They're most willing to share what they have because they know how it feels. Greed is a way of bottlenecking your priorities to your own. It's fascinating to be. I don't think I could ever do that because when I think about the ultimate dream future of this channel and why I do what I do is because I want to cap my income and I want to put it back in the community. Now I've come to the uncomfortable realization that means that if things go as I want them to, that means I'll have to start a non-profit because I don't want to go through a third person. I don't trust other people, so that's an unfortunate result of my dreams because I don't think I'd like that. The actual work part of having a nonprofit, so we'll see about that. But I do think that that's what I have plans. You don't understand. No, Danny. Wait, does that mean you figured out the problem? Because that's good news. Thank you. Please say thank you to Danny for the group hug. Because that's way too kind. Hi, Toopy. Have you said thank you? I think most people need something about them psychologically because having human agency is overwhelming. Yeah, this is true. I've been reading up on why China works, for example, and this is very true. Ah! Hemi! There's a Hemi! I didn't know! Oh, I love that. Thank you, Daddy. I mean, is greed something, is that something born, is that taught? I don't know. This is not, Danny, stop it. No, you're not allowed. You're already doing something for me. Like, oh my God. You're already mad. Is that a Lord of Booty? Thank you so much. Wait. That's too quick. You just had your 20 string streak? You keep, that's not, Danny. Yeah, that's an accurate response. Oh my god. I love looking at the names as well. Okay, thank you so much, Danny. Everyone is flabbergasted. Everyone is flabbergasted. Let me just take a sip. God dang it. I need to go. No, I'm just kidding. How do I go to the next subject? No, the total is what I want. What do you mean? The total is what? Okay. 42, the answer to life, or was that 43? I always confuse. Last time I checked, I was a few away from a milestone. A milestone? Is there milestones? Oh, I get so flushed from hype trains. I don't, I don't know why. They're so upsetting. Gnarly! Guys! Oh my god. I should not say. I know. It's my own fault. It's my own fault. It's my own fault. Thank you, Gnarly. Oh, I see it, Dopey! Dopey! You're a cupcake! I'm squeaking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll go back. I'll go back to a more reasonable. Elimara? I love that name. Okay. That's great. That's great. Enough hype trains. Thank you. Then he's at the top of the list again. Oh, that does remind me. I did not work on the emotes. Oh god dang it! Or I did. I almost finished the one that was presented to me of me showing the bite of Winston, because I didn't realize it looked like that funny for one, but it was a little bit more complicated than I was anticipating. Because there's movement in and out of screen, and then I got overwhelmed and I stopped. So I shouldn't have started with that one. But I'm working on it. Okay, don't come at me. Thank you for the gift of group book. Right? Yes. Oh my gosh. Oops, hope you didn't hear that. Literally sweating. Why can I gift this up to Danny? Danny isn't allowed. Wait, why not? Oh, I need to look at the badge. Should we look at it right now? Otherwise, I'll forget maybe. Oh, I don't know where to find it. I think I had it on 4 hours. I'm excited for the new badge, actually. So if you're gonna be here, tomorrow, or any day of the readathon, and you manage to be present for 4 hours, you're gonna get a special badge. Wait, so something is wrong. No, we won't have that. I'll send them a message, Danny, because that's not fair. You're being way too kind and generous, and it's really sad that you don't have a cupcake in front of your name. I should probably make a note about that, actually, now I think about it. Because I think the 6 years means that I have to add a new cupcake. I don't know what's wrong with Twitch. Well, the word Twitch or the website. I mean, it depends on the day. Most days I'm glad that Twitch exists. Other days I'm just like, really? 50-50? Really? Blue! To wisdom. Thank you, guys. Why? The readathon hasn't even started. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here. Wait, did I write that? Or is that Stream Elements picking up on how I talk? Why do I get so upset? I'm not even kidding. Why am I nauseous? Why am I nauseous? That's not okay. I will never be able to do a subathon. I will puke. I don't think that's that's okay. I think in terms of service is not gonna agree. I need more chocolate. Why are you being so nice? Please be nice to yourself as well, okay? Have we tried our own spa moment? I do recommend. I did. Oh, I already posted it, right? Hold on. Here. If you go to Discord, you can see the badge. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. Actually, I don't think I want to change it. I'm excited about that one. Oh my god, there's a hype chest. What is that? Okay, I do love this. Every hype trade, I do love this. That honestly is. Oh, are you kidding, Blue? Are you kidding? You did not get that one. I'm so jealous. Is that a Toiger? I don't agree. I don't agree. I want the one Blue has. No, no, that's not fair. Why do you get the cute one? I didn't even know that one existed. Oh, it's a serval. It says right there. What is the? They ate. They ate. They ate. Okay. All right. Fine. I mean, I am eating pizza this week, so I guess I will. I want to have a pizza emo. Can I have a pizza emo? Can I? I have to admit that I did put the lot te hoog. What the hell is that in English? I love that one, Pete. I love that one. Wait, what the fuck? No, gnarly. You already subscribed. You already subscribed to this product. However, your payment has failed. Please update your payment method to continue your subscription. Wait, what? What? Oh, what does it mean? That's scary. I mean, can I wait? Sometimes I want to say things and then oh my gosh, I realize that I'm gonna die someday. Not today. Oh my gosh. Panic, panic, panic. Ah, hold on, hold on, hold on. I think I can save it. If a man ever sees my cables, I think they're gonna have an aneurysm. All right. Thank you for your prime, KP. 5 months. 5 months. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I didn't realize. Yeah, Danny. Actually, I'll put in a ticket for you. If you want me to, I can put in a ticket because I'm pretty sure I'm infamous already with my upside down streams. They never got back to me about that. They gave me updates, but they never got back to me about what was actually happening. Oh, yours are a mess as well. I mean, I've seen a few men witness my cable situation, and they didn't even want to come. Need a hot dog emo just because? A hot dog? But that makes no sense. A pizza makes sense. Not with a pineapple on top of it. What is that? That is... Are you looking for a fight, Gnarly? Oh my gosh. That's interesting though, Blue. There are too many to organize the start with the planet and its beginning. Well, for me, it's mostly I just walk around a lot, and it just doesn't make any sense if I put it in a neat way because I'm gonna rip it out again in the evening. It doesn't make sense. My cat destroys my cables. Doesn't matter how neat I make them. Well, there's ways to. Do you want me to put in a ticket for you, Danny? If not, I won't. But I'm pretty sure that my name is somewhere up there anyway. Um, uh, if only because when you go to the writing and reading category, it's pretty new still. And it's growing, and it's evened out. But especially in the beginning, I had insane numbers for the average that is going on in that sector. It's better now, luckily, but yeah, the average viewers was like a 3 or 4, and I've gone over that for quite a while. Not sure yet. Okay, let me know. Give me a shout. Just yell at me, all right, Lenny? You're allowed. You're allowed to yell at me. Gap-proof cabling. There's no such thing, Gnarly. They will find a way. That's why it's so interesting, Blue. What? It makes no sense. I think Twitch is confused. I think Twitch is confused. No, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say. I'm scared. I'm scared. I can't say it. Oh God, did I just scratch myself open? I hope not. If I start bleeding again, it's gonna be a mess. Do you ever just find blood in your house? I realized you scratched open a zit. I'm so sorry. I'm uncomfortable. They see the protected organized cables and they trace them to source, unplugging things, cats or tears around cables. Mine are pretty good. Cats are very good at finding a way to insert themselves into activities that they really don't need to be a part of. I've noticed. Like trying to make a little video of this. Oh, the reason I didn't make a video about this is because I realized that it's supposed to be a community event. So making a promotion for the readathon is not going to make any sense if I post it over on Instagram and we have all these new people coming in. That goes against everything that I wanted it to be. So that's why I ended up not doing it. And also, I just... Listen, I'm so grateful that I made it to this day, okay? Like I said, I was crying literally this morning because there's a lot going on in my brain. And I'm really sure that it was a good idea to have the readathon right now. I have a 1+1 for free pizza. I have frozen pizza. I have canned some pasta sauce myself. I did forget baking sheets. Danny is giving to everyone but himself. No, I'm joking. Constantly getting small cuts and scrapes. I've learned to apply antibiotic cream and cover the boo-boos so they don't fester. That's a good idea, Blue. Well, honey is not supposed to be applied on open wounds, they say. But I fear I do that sometimes, and I really believe in the healing powers of honey. I think at least for me, greed and jealousy started to grow strong roots when certain needs were not met consistently. The hunger just kept growing like a black hole in outer space, eating up everything in hopes of getting the right nutrients. I heard a real sound recording of a black hole, and it sounded exactly like a cosmic stomach growling. Interesting. Wait, where did you hear that? I don't know how to pinpoint it, and I think it's different in a lot of places, but probably in bigger swaths than countries. But the scarcity mindset is really pushed down our throats without us even knowing. Um, it's in almost everything, and it's in the idea of sales. But all these websites that open up with a pop-up that says and sale ending in 2 hours, and you're getting 300% sale discount, so we'll pay you if you give your credit card information right now, like that kind of stuff. You do you, boo. um, yes, Daddy, it's okay. Thank you for letting me know. I just know that everyone is being bombarded with the idea that everything is scarce, from money to food to love, even. Even though actual love should be unconditional, not the same as letting someone abuse you, but that's a different topic. And I think that that is exactly where they want you to be. They want you, as in those who have accumulated enough money to not think about it anymore. They need us to think that there's a scarcity, when in reality, food gets thrown away everywhere, daily, especially in the West. Clothing, we have made so much that even if we stopped producing new clothing, which we really should, we could still go on for decades. In fact, I've heard the theory, and I truly believe it. Now I'm seeing the certain fashion items that I actually wore myself come back. There's a theory that says that if they don't sell all of it, they stock certain items because they already know when they're gonna put it back into the system. I truly believe that. There's no such thing. And especially when it comes to money or love, there's no such thing as scarcity. Yeah, same, Kippy. Like, I mean, there's certain things I buy new, but I'd love to learn how to make it myself. And the quality of new stuff is horrendous. It's really offensive, actually. The lack of quality in clothing that is way too pricey for what. Greed would not be nearly as much of a problem if we stopped thinking in a scarcity mindset, but also maybe looked at ourselves and asked ourselves, do I want this? Or do I think I want this because it will make people think a certain way about me? What's the family name? The Joneses? Didn't they plan to like a family to do this in real life? The things we think we want are often not even things we actually want. We want to feel a certain way and try to accomplish that feeling with either material things or money or other people even. And I mean, I don't really exist online as much as you might think, and I was never very sensitive to peer pressure in that sense. Yes, I when I was bullied to the degree of death threats, I decided to assimilate a little bit better, but not that I felt the need to follow fashion trends or something like that. And I think, yeah, maybe I answered my own question. I think greed is probably taught behavior. I don't think, aside from literal brain damage or abnormalities, I don't think that humans are born malicious in any way, shape, or form. I don't think a child gets born hating or being selfish. I think that's all taught, actually. Unless, again, if there's a actual neurological reason or something. Yes, you did, Wisdom. There is an abundance of love. There's an abundance of food. There's an abundance of oil. Rich people may have most of it, but they don't weigh much, and they're afraid of hammers. Wait, what did you? What? I'm not gonna. Something about stomachs. Listen, I just finished this, and I'm still digesting it. Unconditional love. I do want to make a point of that one as well. Um, Love in its purest form, so separate from attraction and liking. Um, it's endless. It's endless, and with which I mean, even the people who hurt me have a place in my heart. I still love those people because I have separated what love means with everything else, including liking. Like how sometimes you just don't like someone you actually really love for a little bit because they're doing something that just grates you a little bit and you're having a bad day. So in the moment, you just don't like them. But if you love them, that component is concrete. It doesn't change. But you can have moments, right? For the same reason, just because I love too much sometimes doesn't mean I allow people who hurt me to remain in my life. But I will not think badly of them or for them. I hope that they will find peace and happiness and love themselves. But if they lose the right to get that from me, it's basically because their liquid and my liquid caused a reaction that in chemistry would be called a bad. You know what I mean, little fella? Greed is inherently fear of not having enough, whether it's material items, social clout, or power. It's the fear of being weak and defenseless, which is why things like community and generosity can be the solutions to greed. Yeah, Kippy. Yeah, exactly. And that is what has been stripped away from us, slowly but surely, throughout the last few hundred years. And is what I think most governments are currently really afraid of. Ironically, with everything that's going on, in a lot of places you see community built. You see people helping each other. Bartering is coming back. And as we have been confronted with people who are losing day after day after day everything they held dear. I mean, they don't even have the right to exist, according to some, those who know a little bit more of the story, and yes, I'm talking about Gaza, are given the opportunity to look around themselves and realize the abundance of life, the true abundance of life. Just no cupcake! Oh my god, Danny. Oh no. I'm gonna have to give you a special cupcake now. Wait, what's happening? That's so weird. They want us greedy. They want us separate. They want us fighting for things that we don't need. I'm thinking about lawns. I don't know. We're working on it. Okay, Daddy. It's weird. It's and it feels like a puzzle a little bit. I'm curious now. What's happening? I really dislike the way property alienates people from their environment. Every day I run into things I could fix or clean, but it's on a private property, so I can't or shouldn't. Ooh. Isn't it silly that you can get punished for trying to clean your environment? I've been there, Toby. Isn't that silly? Greed sounds like a type of anxiety if you're lacking something in the future. Yeah, and I think it ties back to status, the idea that you have to be better. And now I say it out loud, it really starts in school systems where you are being graded and compared to other kids. And because kids don't have a conscience yet, even if they don't mean to, kids are brutal, man. Kids are honest to the point of almost abuse. Except that there's no intent there most of the time. So they're just brutal, and there's nothing more hurtful than like an 8-year-old, right? But there's no discernment yet in those kids, and those kids are being forced into a system that they would never want to choose to be in if they had the brains of a 25-year-old at the least. Which is that you shouldn't compare yourself to your classmates, and you sure as hell shouldn't bring other people down just because they're not as good at reading as you are. They might be able to build you the perfect freaking bookcase, all right? So you don't want to make them enemy. No, you want to be friends. They have different things that they're good at, and you have different things. And together you build utopia. But instead, we're being taught to look at each other and be, well, I'm better than you. I have a better score. Now I'm higher in the hierarchy. Makes no sense. But it starts in school. I don't agree with grading at all. I don't think it does anyone any good. And that's where it starts. That's where you start to compare and think that you need to do the things that other people are doing to get this same esteem. It's weird. And it's so layered. Hello, agent. Welcome in. How are you doing? I still don't get it. I don't get it. Why the 6'7"? I don't get it. I'm too old. I'm so sorry. And the reason I laugh when I see people say that is just because I'm like, I don't get it. Oh no. I have a neighbor that has a very broken fence. It's dangerous, and it's not dangerous enough yet where it would warrant an official complaint. But even then, the reason it's not fixed or changed is because they are poor, but they are also proud and refuse any help in fixing it. Yeah, Longfellow, that is kind of that's stupid. It's really stupid. If we were still actually community driven, it wouldn't even be a question. You would just help each other out and make it so that everyone is happy with it. And no one feels bad for needing help. And I am very bad at asking for help as well. It's because it was punished mostly. And I just don't want to be a bother. Oh my God, thank you, Gibby. I need that, yes. Don't forget to drink water, people. But because of the stupid system that we're in, you get situations like this, where people feel like they can't ask for help, and the positions they're willing to put themselves in just to not have to lose. I don't know what they think they'll lose. I don't know. But it's really silly. Hello, Wrath Runes? Is it as in the runes? Or what is it? Am I just making it up? I mean. Welcome in, thank you so much for the follow. School grading is best summed up by the picture of the different circles. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. Every time I think of the school system and how it judges kids. Kids should not be judged. What do you mean? They're children. The only thing they should be judged at is whether they're happy, healthy, and you know, a little bit feral. I think every kid should be a little bit feral, especially city kids. City kids should go out in nature and just play in the mud for every summer at least. There's something about summer storm that just makes you feel alive, and if you miss that as a kid, that's sad. It makes me sad. Children shouldn't be in school at all if they don't want to be. Like I was probably an exception because I love to read, but most kids are not ready to read when they're young. They want to play and be outside where they should be, in the sun, in the rain, and with the dirty knees and, you know, dirt under their nails. I left school many moons ago. I'm still a square peg trying to fit in a round world. Don't, agent, don't do it. Don't do it. Trust me, you'll be happier if you don't try. You'll find people that you that won't ask you or force you to change who you are. There really are. But it's a bit of a paradox. Like, how things that make you unhappy are often things that you didn't even choose yourself, but got stuck in. So it's interesting to hear about people in the 50s in the USA where the parents could just walk into the school and fix a leak and it'd be fine. Yeah, and then everyone got lead poisoning, and serial killers started to pop up everywhere. I can't imagine. If I ever got children. It's not going to be in the Netherlands, because I don't think I could ever trust something that I grew in my own body to strangers. I don't think that's a good idea. Not in the current system of society where you don't even know teachers. You don't even know, and I think being a teacher is something holy, but it's not treated as such. So what you get is people who are maybe not necessarily suited for the job, and they mess up your kid. I don't agree. The grading system is akin to how you grade meat according to quality, which determines where it's used. Yeah, Sir Evan, especially in the Netherlands, and I know that this is extremely unpopular in the circles I move in, but I truly believe that the Netherlands is a worker factory. If you look at how the school system works, and how you're at a very young age trained to be either a worker for physical stuff, or you're lucky and you get pushed into higher education. The sad truth is that most people, the biggest chunk of society, is lower education. And I was unfortunately in lower education because of choices. That's not where I belonged. Let me tell you. But I did get to see what the majority of the country is like. I got to experience the microcosmos of high school in a place that represented the majority of the country that I live in. And it's pretty scary. It's pretty scary how you are actively demotivated in lower education. I'm going to call it because it's just that's how you end up in your life most of the time. They actively demoralize you when it comes to reading. How do I know this? Because I was always a reader. I shouldn't have been there in the first place. It's another story for another day. But I read my own books because I was so bored, and I would be punished. If I knew more than was in the books, I was punished. They actively make you a worker bee in lower education in the Netherlands. I know that's not popular, and if you went through it, I'm so sorry they did that. But I really hope that you stick around, and at some point, someday, I can show you that that is not what books are about. School didn't teach you about books at all. School taught you how to be a worker and how to make money for other people. If you went to lower education in the Netherlands, now in a lot of other countries, high school is high school. In the Netherlands, when you're 12, they decide how smart you are. And you get put into the system from that age on forward. And if you go to the lower end of that scale, and you're actively punished for being curious and asking questions and knowing more than they are teaching you in school, you're not going to be very willing to try and go into higher education. They're working against you. They're making a worker bee out of you. Only a few people make it out of lower education, because you can go to higher education from the lower end. But especially now it's Americanized, and school is no longer something that is a given, and it's a loan, regardless of how smart you are and how many degrees you get. You have to take out a loan, and you have to pay it out of your own pocket. Well, I come from the generation where if you got your degree, if you get your diploma, the loan was turned into a gift. So school wasn't as expensive, and you didn't start your adult life, with like a massive debt. That's changed. That's why I always say we're turning into America, but people don't see it. But in the Netherlands, when you're 12, they take a test and they decide, are you smart or are you dumb? And that's how your life will go. And do you go to higher education? Even there, they will be struggling with their egos when you know more than is in the book. Because my English teacher was so upset that I already knew English. I started out in higher education. It's a long story. I'll tell it another day. As a child, how your mind felt like before entering the schooling system. It was so open to learning what you're interested in. It was so beautiful. Giraffe, you can wake it up again. You can wake it up again. I promise you. Really, it's not dead. It's just sleeping. You can't actually kill curiosity. I fully believe that. Otherwise, you would be dead. That's very dramatic, but I believe that. And I refuse. This is why I always say I'm just stubborn. I refuse to give up on it. I refuse to not see the world for what it is, which is, it's not about money. It's not about your status. It's about baby ducks in your front garden asking you to stop streaming because they're hungry. God damn it. I'm going to look at it. It's about the sunrise after a night without sleep because you were talking to your best friend, and talking to your best friend felt infinitely more important than your stupid daytime job. You know, I still do this. Still to this day have that mind blockage because of what the school system did to me. My mind shuts down and escapes it even if I even consider doing paperwork or anything against the study. I am so sorry that you fell victim to the system, Sarah. I hope you stick around. But I get it. Most people, I mean, I'm not that special anymore, but I remember vividly how in my 20s people were just baffled. You read for pleasure? And the only thing those people can think of is school books. The only thing they can, you read, why would you read math or biology? What do you mean? But genuinely, people who have an actual blockage for reading for fun, when you tell them that you read books, they will instantly think of school books. That's not what reading is about. That's not what life is about. Life is about fun and whimsy and sometimes a little bit of gore, but, you know, just to balance it out. Most of it is just pretty and frolicking and rain on tin roofs. A friend works in education, and they record some very sus metrics for students in primary education here, forecasts and predictions, and some of the things written there that I heard about were really unnerving. I fully believe you, Gnarly, because just thinking back at how some teachers were really frustrated with me when I was genuinely just a curious kid. I just had a lot of questions, and they got upset about that. And I don't know when. And what was most unnerving to me was how I don't remember a single teacher who was able to have a genuine conversation with students, actually, where they were able to be challenged without having a meltdown because their ego started to choke on the feeling, comparing, and thus feeling less than their student. Well, I don't know, I think kids have amazing life lessons. And they're terrifying for that very reason for a lot of people. What is that? Wait, Daddy, what is that? I love it, but also, you're a funny guy. Late night talk with friends are my vibe. I love late night. When the sun sets, it's just a different world, and people are a lot more honest, and I love that. I love how the moon can do that to people. And seeing the sunrise after doing that, especially if you don't intend to, pull an all-nighter, being open and you know, share your biggest secrets with your friends. I feel like those sunrises are the best. They're just the best. Right, Jake? How are you today? The key to studying on one's own is pleasure and being patient with yourself. Journaling about how you felt through the day helps. Yes, it's not supposed to be difficult or annoying. In the Netherlands, there's, I'm not sure how they're called, but let's just say natural schools. I know they exist, but I'm not sure how expensive they would be because they're not free. Like the first 12 years of school is, I think it's free unless you go to a private school. And there are schools who implement this, that they allow kids to play unless they want to learn. Even though play and learning can be combined. I don't know why schools have to be so freaking stuck up. And what do you know? If kids get the freedom to grow where they want to, they grow where they need to as well. Because it's just a natural thing. Kids are curious. But not everyone is made to design a 30-story building for which you would need math and a lot of logic. Some people are better suited to make music and save lives with that music. You know what I mean? But if you think your curiosity has been decimated by school, please know that it's still there. You are still here, and maybe it grew in weird positions. You can straighten it out and become curious again. I promise you. Curiosity still lives in me. The proof of this is recently I read about fermented garlic and honey. It's good for you and started trying it out. Oh, that sounds both amazing and awful at the same time. I got 3 jars of garlic, ginger, and lime fermenting in honey. Ooh, that actually sounds good. I know what I'm doing, kind of, but kind of not. I'm learning as I go. I love that, Zira. See, this is amazing, and that's curiosity too. It doesn't have to come out of books. Look, books are just like, they saved my life, actually, seriously. If it wasn't for books, I would not be sitting here today. So I feel like books are an easy so-called gateway drug back into curiosity, because there is not a subject in the world of which a book has not been written. Literally, there's the book for everyone, which is why it's my weapon of choice when it comes to being in the resistance. What the fuck are those streaks? You didn't do that on purpose, Daddy? What do you mean? Seraph, you're doing great. I'm so proud of you. I'm being called by my cats. First the goslings, and then now you. My cat is calling me. Hello, D. Middleton. How are you today? Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. No badges. No, we're gonna... Oh my god, Danny, you're not broken. You're perfect the way you are. Stop it. Hi, Shimmer. Having fun isn't hard when you got a library card. Listen, you can just go to the library. You don't have to have a card. You can just go and have fun. You know that a lot of libraries these days are also places of socialization. A third place, if you let it. I've been confronted with this a few times now, that there's a lot of things in the city library that I like to go to. There's a lot of events that have nothing to do with books necessarily, but we're missing the third place, remember? And libraries can be a good place to find them again. I'm fine, everything is fine. Danny! I'm worried! All the things you said. All the things you said! Why is that song coming back? Yeah, this is the third time that I'm being reminded of that too. Are you okay? I'm coming, baby. I like the story that says that twilight is when the veil between the world of the living and the afterlife is thin, and you listen very closely and calmly. They whispers can be heard. Oh my god, where did you hear that, Zuref? I love that. It's also the only moment of the day where the light of inside your home and outside is even. During the day, inside your home is usually darker, so it's harder to look inside, but it's easy to look outside. And at night, it's the other way around. The outside is dark, and when you have your lights on, the inside is lighter, so you can look inside easier. But during the blue hour, it's even. And everything is suddenly balanced. So I feel that could be true if there is something spiritual out there. If there's a moment of the day where you could listen to the whispers of the living, and those in the afterlife. It's going to be that time of day. Interesting, interesting. Whoa, Shimmer. Whoa, that is sad. That is extremely sad. Just so you know, there's always an exception, but most people who work at libraries are extremely willing to hold space for everyone. Everyone. Because usually someone who works in the library, I know there's also people who just work there for the job, but when the actual librarians of the library really don't care what you have outside. All they care for is that you are inside the library right now, and the possibility of you reading a book is there. And the reason I say that is because I know that, I'm assuming that you're in the USA, and I know that in the USA especially, a lot of people who are without a home find peace in libraries during the day, and it can go wrong every once in a while, and this makes me sad. Makes me sad. During my life, one of the first things I did when moving to a new town was to get a library card. Yeah, I don't think it's on your side, Annie. It's pretty, you. I feel like you have done everything you could, and you already did before today, probably. So it has to be on Twitch's side. It has to be. In the Netherlands, I think it's. Oh no, that's not true. Never mind. I don't know the specifics. I can attest to unfocused, find shelter and yeah, yeah, and the unhoused. That's the word I was looking for. I don't know the conversation behind the change into that word. So I'm uncertain, and it also doesn't want to stick. And I just want everyone listening to know that everyone is trying to be happy. And if there's unhoused people in your local library, please know that if they had a home to sit in their boxers, they would be there. If they had anywhere better to be, and that's the only place they can be, please don't be mean. An actual librarian will never punish anyone for seeking shelter in a library. When it comes to that, I feel like libraries are really the most loving place you can go to if you ever find you need help. In life, just in life, because they can point you to books, but librarians are really the holders of a lot of knowledge. I have to say that the people who go into that world for the love of it are more than happy to do things well beyond their pay grade. I did that too when I was still a librarian. I would help people. Unhoused people as well to ask for grants to find housing, help them find the right pamphlets, because we held pamphlets for the local government and stuff. I never minded doing that, and we did a lot of workshops. I don't know. I guess one thing you learn if you fall in love with books is that there's no such thing as a scarcity. In fact, there's too much out there. There's so much out there that I will never be able to read all the books that I want to read. More reason to fall in love with books, so you can get rid of the scarcity mindset. This talk about the effects of Twilight makes me think of the many spiritual practices of very old folklore and traditions. In Irish folklore, Twilight is known as the Thrawn, or in-between time, the betwixt. It is a mystical hour when the boundary between the mortal world and the Celtic otherworld thins. According to tradition, fairies and spirits use this lingering light to slip into our realm, blurring the lines between myth and reality. It if it wasn't clear, I love stuff like this. I love this too! Keep it coming, Zerav! Oh my god. See, and if I connect all the things that I've heard recently, that sounds so plausible. Side note, oh no, wisdom. Librarian in the original Ghostbusters movie was terrifying? Wait, what? I didn't see that movie. Is it bad? I mean, I feel that. Yeah, you could always fall asleep listening to an audiobook too. I don't listen to something that you're interested in though, because I mean, I don't listen to audiobooks anymore, but it's almost worse than reading a book, because when you read a book, it's one more page, it's one more page, it's one more page. But you're listening to an audiobook and you're in it, you're never gonna press that button. You're just there until you have to go work. Libraries are one of the last places you'll find people of in most social classes. Yeah, Toby. Yeah, this is true. Well, I'm aware that most people won't have reason to understand what it means to lose everything. All of us will learn about loss and grief. All of us. No one is exempt. But actual understanding for what it means to be unhoused, when it's not your choice, because there's people who choose to not necessarily live on the streets, but to not just to actually get out of this whole system. There's people who do that. I've known a few guys, but there's a fear a lot of people hold for ending up in the same place, and there's some judgment because they're often not able to keep themselves as clean as they would like to be, for example, and the interactions that I've had with people who had lost everything, a lot of the time, having a simple conversation with them was more welcome than the money that I wanted to give them, or the food that I wanted to buy them, because most people don't even look at unhoused people. They just pretend they don't see them. And a lot of them go for days, weeks, months without honest interaction with someone who isn't in the same position as they are. And that breaks my heart. So just eye contact and actually asking them just in a normal conversation, meeting them just as a human, can have such a huge impact on people. I'm very bad at watching movies, Danny. Like, exceedingly. Yeah, KP, actually you do need to, there's a whole school for, I was going to do that, but then life happened, and now I'm here. But yeah, I was going to go to school to become an actual librarian. I did all the jobs of a librarian, but that's because I refused to do less than I was able to when I was working at the library. I mean, I'm a librarian at heart, Shimmer. And I do feel like maybe I am building a kind of online librarian job thingy. Because I'm not going to do reviews. I don't think I'll ever do reviews. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like I have a critic in me in that way. I don't want to be. But I love books, man. I just love them, and even when they're bad, I find ways to make sure that it's a good book. Unless there's moral and ethical reasons for not liking a book, but most of the time I love a book. I was a great one, KP. They were going to pay for my school and everything, but yeah, life. An old friend of mine, sadly now, dad was an archivist at the Smithsonian. Oh my gosh, I always said it was like being a librarian on steroids. Yeah, just the thought. My God, Stop it. No, moving on. I can't. I read Fairy Tale by Rune Feist, and that got me interested in finding out more about the Chuanta Danan, which are, oh, I butchered that. I'm so sorry. Which are the supernatural beings in Irish mythology. I think the intersection of a lot of folklore and how the same stories come back in different cultures, even on different sides of the world, is fascinating. Like, we don't know anything. We don't know anything. I believe there's things. I don't. I'm Jon Snow. Did they have the card catalogs? I kind of miss those. Libraries have changed in my lifetime alone so much. But yeah, I think what I've been building and am building is really just being a librarian online. I don't like making reviews. I don't like judging books. I would like to be able to warn people. And this is a good example. Fan service, but also kind of work, actually doing research, but actually. Yes, you are, Danny. You have a great job. I think I wouldn't mind having a job like yours either. It's just that I don't want to deal with other people, and I physically can't anymore anyway. Maybe one day life will bring you back to the dream or better. Online librarian does have a nice ring to it. Well, I was actually this close to opening my own bookstore, KP, in the UK. But then the pandemic happened, and I realized that people really, truly, genuinely get upset when they have to wash their hands, huh? Fascinating. People get upset when they have to wash their hands. Maybe I don't want to open a bookstore. Not kidding. That's the whole thought process that went in there, because it says so much. It truly said so much to me that... Really? This is upsetting you? And what did I say recently? I saw something on the back of a product, and I was like, "You're kidding! You're actually kidding!" I know that in America things were going a bit wild for some time, with people suing companies for really stupid things because it wasn't on labels or in the disclaimer. I know that's a thing, but this was I don't remember. I don't remember. I see you go. Yeah, actually, it could be. Everything was done. I had the whole business plan because I went to school. I went to school to be a manager, basically. So I used all those skills to set up a plan. The only thing I needed was money. That was really it. And then I would have been able to open a bookstore. And it would have been not just a bookstore, but it was like a combination of a lot of things. And I was going to open a kind of a charity thing, I guess you would call it, to help young people with a troubled childhood. I was going to... I haven't thought in English terms about any of this in a long time, in business terms. Sponsorships. I wanted to sponsor troubled youth, basically the teenagers that grow up in the system and are given up on. I wanted to give them a place to learn responsibility by offering them a job, but with the training to deal with troubled youth, and give them just a place where someone does believe in them and where they're welcome and loved. But I think that I don't have to give up on all of that dream. But I really don't want to deal with the general public. I couldn't. And I'm not saying that I'll never open up a bookstore, because that idea is just so lovely. But given that I truly don't want to be rich, and I will, one day, I will. It may take a decade, but I will at some point start making money to the degree that I feel uncomfortable. And I guess that the idea that I'll start a nonprofit for myself is actually a good starting point to
mutate my original goal of opening up a bookstore into something that suits me a lot better. Because I do also have to add to that. When I was making that plan, I didn't know I was autistic, but I still wasn't treating myself as autistic. And then I got my endometriosis diagnosis, so it wouldn't have been feasible anyway. But I think that the way my brain has been going lately, like especially working with troubled youth, is something that is really close to my heart, and I want to find a way to do that. But I don't trust a middle person. I don't want to gab my income and then say the rest I will donate to a good cause every month. Aside from the mental load it would take to research those places properly, I think I might as well just use that energy to set up my own nonprofit and make sure that it is in my control and I don't just give away money that would be better suited somewhere else, if that makes any sense. You can always just hire a good staff or store manager. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Like, if I were able to do that, I would not be on the floor. But that was kind of the dream, that I would do it all on my own. And I wanted to live over the bookstore, and I wanted to have a garden, a secret garden where people could hide and read. I'm coming, I know. I said a half an hour ago, and I'm so sorry. I need to go. My cat came to get me. It's time. It's time. I know. We should set up a GoFundMe for Cherry's Cat Library and Bookshop. With them, I can't. I have to make sure that I'm fully independent first. And as long as the government needs to top my my income to make sure that I have. Well, I found out that I don't actually get minimum wage. I get 80% of minimum wage. So when I called it the breadline, ironically, I was actually saying the truth. It's the breadline. I get topped up by the government until I have enough money to pay my bills, and that's it. And as long as I am in that, whatever money I get, even if I were to open a GoFundMe, I would first have to pay my own bills, and only after that do I actually get to keep any money I make. As long as I'm dependent on being propped up by the government, I have to, yeah. So first I have to be fully independent, but that's okay. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't have a nice setup because I don't have the money for a computer, and I can't set up a GoFundMe for a computer because I would have to have, it wouldn't make sense. I have to go though, because she really is thirsty, and it's almost time for our nap. Thank you so much for being here. This is gonna be a good week, okay? Also, if you have any questions, whether that is a sensitive topic or not, you can always ask. I can't promise you I'll be able to answer immediately, especially if it's about, the assault. Maybe it's not the time, or I don't feel like I am able to in that moment. Questions within reason. Don't be mean, and don't be too silly. Questions are always welcome. Don't be afraid to ask a question in here, okay? But again, I just can't promise that I have an answer always. It wouldn't be your income, but a business entity. Oh no, KP, it's really it's a bit complicated in the Netherlands, but I have to go. So you need a trust that's separate from you. Danny, listen. No, hold on. I can't. I am terrified. Okay, I am not. No, I can't say anything. It's going to be fine, all right? As long as you're willing to bear with me for a while longer, it's not going to be a decade, I promise. It's not going to be a decade. Simply because I don't have the time. I don't have the time for that, okay? So, to be continued, I'll be back tomorrow. And then we're going to start. I'll read it on. I'm going to be reading this lovely book. And I will be streaming every day within the limits of our regular stream until I'm done. So if you want to be there, look at the schedule, see what it means when I say I'll be back tomorrow. I love you. You are important. Whether you believe it or not, you are. And please remember, you don't know who's waiting for you tomorrow. So please stick around. You are important. Yes, icebreakers. Remember, it's going to be unmuted, so my unfiltered, unabridged, immediate response, be there. Or not, it's fine. Bye.